Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be looking at three different games in Tier 8. We're looking at a game in the Yogumo, in the Kitakaze, and at a game in the Sumner. So basically the subject of today's video will be how to play Tier 8 destroyers. So we're talking about endgame destroyers. And yeah, probably they're a bit more endgame than legendary destroyers, because legendary you can get with the bureau. You don't have to grind very much. You just sit and relax and you get the ships without much knowledge. While the Tier 8 lacks the initiative to get them, and those are pretty much a big grind. And this is why, and they have been added later, so that's why I consider them to be a little bit more end game content than legendary tiers. But back to the games. These three games I have been playing yesterday in a row, so they are in the row in order how I played them. So I played them after each other. All of them have a lot of kills, and all of them have something in common. They have in common that my team usually totally potatoes, and this first game is a very special example. Check out the blue positioning. They are all let's say 2 squares and lower away from any cap you can see. So beside the destroyers, all the cruisers and battleships, they totally potato, and they have zero influence on the game. And this is my lesson I wanna explain here about. If you're in a cruiser and a battleship, this is a completely awkward positioning, and you have to understand that you have to get the points. I have been pinging, let's say, half of the game, the team to get the caps, and nobody reacts. And even despite the fact there wasn't any enemy anymore in a cap, so nobody went to cap it. But let's talk you through the game. You see the hierarchy, and you may be wondering why I don't enter this. I just reset the hierarchy because I am expecting my Crossfire team to shoot the hierarchy, but they don't, so at least I want to get a reset here. I cannot win a gunfight 1 versus 1 in a torpedo Yogumo. You see we have equipped the reload booster here. We don't run it with smoke. So the Yogumo does have hard-hitting torpedoes, 24k each, and we have the epic mods installed. So by the way, I have the epic mods in all my destroyers, high-tier destroyers. I run about 30 epic mods and about 20 legendary mods. So I haven't bought any of the steel ships, but I bought all the modules. They give you the edge of competition. So to kick off this game, we run into the famous Meta Jerk, and funny enough, yesterday he had this game on live stream, and he was later on commenting and watching the game. And Meta, if you see this, I completely agree. Your analysis of the game of my team, it's so funny you were looking at this. So guys, if I'm sure you know Meta Jerk, but if you're looking up yesterday's stream, it's around the 45 minutes marks of his stream. And it's funny how he analyzes my team and suggests where I would be heading, and he concluded I would be heading outside. Yes, of course. So this was the only way to do. And here is the thing: I'm firing the 2 torpedoes, and I used the reload booster because I want to trigger his flooding. And lucky for me, Meta did use the damage control, and I trigger the flood. But then again, the Yogumo has a 60-second reload, and now it's 58 seconds, something like that. You see the epic mod already triggered 1 time, so it's 2% faster reload. So Yogumo is really a beast when it comes to reload. You bring it down to about 55 seconds with these hard-hitting torpedoes, and there's nothing to withstand the Yogumo, unless the carrier, which you can see here, but the carrier is very busy in CCAP, so he does allow me to approach him, and he's not very much protecting his area around. himself. He is starting to move, which always a carrier should be doing. But I'm considering, if you look at the situation, my team dying, my team not hitting anything. You see, I got the first kill, or I think I got the first. No, I got the second kill here. But anyways, my team is shooting, but they're not getting cap points and they're not getting kills. So my message for this first video is, if you're camping in the back, then you have to make sure you get the kills, because the enemy team will accumulate points with the caps. And you can see the red team here getting all 3 caps and how quickly the clock is ticking, and my team isn't realizing anything about this. So if I wouldn't have played and helped them to sink the ships in the end, yeah, you will see what's going to happen. But if you listen to Meta's comments, he's so sure he's going to win this, and he wanted to bail out and say, that's a safe win, blah blah blah. And yeah, we win it last minute here because the Hayate didn't run off, so the Hayate should have just ran into one corner. But yeah, also we win because I'm coming back. I'm going to C-cap. I'm getting some more kills. You see, I take the carrier out now, and this really helps me because it helps me to stay concealed. And now there are some planes coming back, so I'm switching on my AA. Yogumo has a quite okay AA. It's around 50 points. And then I'm checking the squadron, and the squadron of the carrier is just consisting of 3 more planes or so, and this is nothing I have to be afraid of. Even if he hits me 1, which he actually does, I have my damage control. I'm losing some points. But I'm not expecting a huge gunfight against other DDs because I have 4.8 concealment, and this concealment is, I think, it's the best in tier 8 you can get. It's the max concealment build, and with that, even enemy Shimakaze, they are around 4.8, 4.9. So I probably outspot almost every other ship if I just not run nose into them. So you see here's 3-kilometer planes approaching, and I decide just to switch on the AA because he's coming closer. I'm slowing down, I'm turning because I'm trying to avoid the hits, but yeah, he gets a hit. But again, this doesn't matter. And if you look at the ship count, we're leading in ships. We killed 4, we lost 2, but look at the points. Yeah, and look at the clock, how quickly they accumulate now. So they have 460, we have 350, and if we don't get kills, we don't get points. And look where my team is positioned. So there are 2 squares, 3 squares, 4 squares out from any cap. So I'm their only hope to get into a cap, and I'm far out as well. And I couldn't go into a cap because I didn't have any support. So Yogumo needs to get the battleships, needs to do what I just did here. So I was taking out 2 ships, and now we need to go to C-cap because I'm expecting the remaining Hayate to focus on my ships. So I don't expect him in the C-cap. So that's why I'm trying to get into C, at least block it or even cap it. And then again, once we are getting closer, you see that the ships southeast of the C-cap, they do a turnaround and they're coming back. So this is why I decided not to enter the C-cap, because the biggest advantage of my current situation is nobody knows where I am. Also, again, funny when Meta tries to think where I could be. He's making some guesses, but actually this shows very well nobody knows where I am. So that helps me to release my torpedoes and getting more kills. So I'm focusing on the Brandenburg and the cruiser, which is south on sea, to enable me to get into C, and to also maybe later on, you see that cruiser between B and C, between the islands. Maybe I can drop some torps from behind. So there's some potential for crossfires, and this is what you want to be looking for. Now watch at the points again. We're at 650 for the red team already. And there's no way we can win this because my team is too far out. So we have to win by kills. And if you look at my ships, at my team's ships, they are almost dead. Everybody's very low on HP and so on. But they don't manage to focus fire, don't manage to bring down enemy ships. Given the fact I get two more kills, really show how inefficient this positioning is and how badly the blue team behaves. You see, there's nobody going into A, despite the fact there's no red ship in A. So why is nobody going for A? Why is nobody contesting B? Yeah, why are they at the border and south? I mean, this is ridiculous positioning. There's no crossfire. There is no use for the game. Nothing. We open up fire here because we want to get down the Ibuki. So we unconceal ourselves for a short moment, but because we are out of the 10-kilometer gun concealment back as soon as the Ibuki was killed, so I wasn't afraid. And you see some incoming secondaries from the Brandenburg from before when we were spotted. And the Brandenburg probably realizes we are here, and also incoming torps on them. I dropped some torps because I was thinking that Brandenburg makes a left turn, but he does a right turn. But again, this doesn't matter. You see in 20 seconds we get the next torpedo salvo already. So Yogumo again is really dangerous. With now we have 4 times epic mod reload, so we have a reload of 55 seconds, something like that. And yeah, with 25k torpedoes, so we only need 1 or 2 torpedo hits every ship and they're gone. So that really helps if you compare that to the pan-European destroyers, where you do like 8 or 10k per torpedo and you need to hit like 10 and the ship still floats. This is the opposite. You get 1 torpedo and you get a 100% flood chance with these torpedoes. No, it's not 100%, but it's a very high flood chance because the higher the torpedo damage, the higher the flood chance. So with these IGN torpedoes, you almost have a 100% flood chance if the ship hasn't used the damage control and you cannot get a flood. But if you have an 8k torpedo, you have probably a flood chance of maybe 10 or 20%. This is the thing with Pan-Asian torpedoes or with torpedoes from carriers. That's why they have a low flood chance, because the lower the damage of the torpedoes, the lower the flood chance. So, and then we were guessing the Hayate wanted to chase us. He should have run off, like I said earlier. But now we see he makes a right turn, but we are guessing he's coming back. So we're dropping the torpedoes where he's coming out behind the corner, and then we open up fire. We hope that our team gets a shot on the Hayate. We cannot win the gunfight with the Hayate on our own, but we hope on a torpedo hit, and we hope we hit the engine. That's good because that slows him down. That protects us from his movements. He can only use 1 turret, and his main turret is on the back. Now he makes the mistake, or the thing, he turns right, but his gun's facing right, so it takes him ages to get the guns around and allowing us a couple of salvos. And in this situation we could have won the gunfight easily on our own, but incoming 1 salvo from our team, finally, thanks God, and they steal the kill here from us, preventing the Kraken. Oh, it's the torpedoes who get the kill. But anyways, close Kraken despite the odds, and yeah, I think we're saving the ass of our team here. So this is game number 1. Game number 2 in Kitakaze following right now. Thanks to MetaJerk for the always like your streams and your sarcasm. So guys, check out his stream. He has a very good channel out there. So again, Kitakaze, next game here. Kitakaze is a ship with a 3 minutes torpedo reload. So this is the slowest reload of all ships. But you get a set of 6 torpedoes every 3 minutes. So basically, it's the same like you would get in other destroyers, 2 times 3 torpedoes. You get 1 times 6, and you have 3 reload boosters, which means you can spam not only 6 torpedoes but 12 torpedoes, and they're very hard hitting. They also have these 24K whatever torpedoes, but Kitakaze is a gunboat, so you have extremely good. I will showcase and feature this in this game because I again have to save the ass of my team. Again, this one is about bad team positioning, bad situation awareness. So my team doesn't realize they have to cap, and especially the battleship, which is constantly spamming commands how I should behave. He should have gone the other way around instead of. But he should have taken care of the destroyer in the end. But when you see it, you will understand what I mean. So we're kicking off the game here with 5.2 concealment. We're waiting for the spotting of other ships. And since we have a 3-minute reload, we don't just drop the torps like we would do with a 60-second reload. We have to make sure we're going to hit something with these torps. So we just keep moving. We're keeping on the outside because we expect the enemy battleships at some point to make a left turn because they want to boat tank our battleships. So we need to get to the side of them, and we expect the enemy destroyer to start capping the decap. So now we're releasing one set of torpedoes, and we're using the reload booster immediately to be ready for the second set as soon as we decide how to use it. And my team here in the beginning is doing quite okay. At least the one battleship which is close to me, the other battleship is half broadside and yeah, far out. Not much use there, but at least he will close in the course of the game. So we keep switching the aim prediction to be able to understand where the enemy ships will be moving. These torpedo aim predictors, they help you to understand, do they speed up, do they slow down. So here we see that Bismarck is rushing, and probably he's confident with his torpedo, with his destroyer. Or I'm not sure, actually I think there is no destroyer with him, but he's pushing into the cap. And since he probably thinks there's no blue destroyer as well, so he's probably thinking, oh, it's two battleships against two battleships. One of our battleships is far out, so we should be able to win the fight. But he's not considering I'm around. So unfortunately, I don't have any more torps. If I had another SAP, this Massachusetts would have been gone. But we want to stay outside because we need to open fire on the Massachusetts. The Bismarck will be gone with torpedoes. But if I would have opened on the Massachusetts too early, we need to make sure he's on the course to our battleships. Then he would turn to us, and we don't get torpedoes within 2 minutes. So by the time he's rushing our smoke, we don't have any torpedoes. So with torpedoes, I wouldn't be afraid of Massachusetts rushing my smoke. But without, that's very dangerous because he could get us. So now we're opening up. We're getting some fires, down the ship. In the end, it turns out they're gonna ram each other, so we're just accruing some damage here and some fires, so we're getting some XP. But as for killing the Massachusetts, it doesn't make difference. I could have started to move out earlier, but you never know as long until the ships are dead. So that's why we keep shooting. And they kill one of our ships by ramming each other. We are ahead in ship counts, we are ahead in points, but again, watch the points, watch the situational awareness. The tide is turning pretty quickly now, as soon as they ram. You see that destroyer is going through the middle because the B cap is unprotected, and they're pushing A cap, and soon they will be having 3 caps, and they're getting more ship kills, and that makes it very hard for us to win. And yeah, it will be very close in the end. You will see what's going to happen, but again, it will be me saving the team. So and again, this game was played after the first game I showed you, and the Sumner game is the third game. Or I think this one was played before, I don't know. But I played these 3 games in a row. So now they ram each other, and now I have to get into the C cap as soon as possible to get the points. And this is the first mistake the battleship following me is doing, because what you should be doing as a battleship now, you see there is no enemy nearby, at least no cruiser and no battleship, and no destroyer at all, because otherwise you would have seen incoming torps already on your position, and the decap would be capped, so you can be sure there's no destroyer. So what you have to do as a battleship, you rush into decap. While I head for the decap, he still keeps moving southwards instead of going inside, so we're losing valuable seconds capping the decap with 2, because it halves the cap time. It's not 60 seconds, it's 30 seconds, and this is time we lose on the points, on the clock point, on point clocks. And if you accumulate all these mistakes the blue team is doing in all these teams, we're wasting points all the time, and that is why these games are so close, or almost all of them had been lost if I hadn't done what I did. Because I probably was the only one watching the clock, realizing the game situation all the time. The newer players in the high tier, they don't care for capping, they don't take care for the clock, and this is why they end up with win rates of 50%, 51%, 48%, whatever. They only think about damage. They don't even think about kills, because kills get some points on the clock. But if you sit, you're definitely doing everything wrong what you can do. So you have to cap, you have to come out of your hiding. You have to do what the red team is doing here. You have to push. Red team is doing a good job here. They're pushing through the middle. They're pushing through A. So they're putting the pressure on B, and they are about to cap B. So we need to see what we can do. So in this situation, the battleship behind me should have gone back to B and defend B. Because Kitakaze is, but probably they don't know about destroyer. Kitakaze is a very good gunboat, and the destroyers I'm facing is a black and a which is a radar cruiser, and I think it's a Yogumo. So the black has guns. It's basically like a Fletcher with radar, a little bit slower reload. But the Kitakaze has the much better guns than the black. So if the black doesn't smoke up and use the radar for 15 seconds, we can the channel, because we're hoping the black is going to come back. And we're positioning ourselves at the entrance of the channel, still hoping that our battleship behind is going back to B-cap, because we want to bring down the Aegir cruiser. It's almost dead, so somebody should kill the Aegir. But the thing is, the Aegir and the black, they will be coming back. The Aegir will be coming through the channel, and the black and the other destroyer will capping the the B-cap. And this is the problem now, but still I still don't know it right now. I'm still hope the black will be coming back, but now we see the decap will be challenged in a second, and but my battleship still following me, no targets around, so I don't know what he's shooting at. So you see we have 3 ships left. 1 destroyer is distracting 2 of the enemy ships, which is a good job in this situation, but he should also get into the B-cap, but this is something he's going to do very well. He's going to help my battleship in the back later on, capping A-cap, so we can. So you see, I'm slowing down here, and we're waiting what's happening. So while we slow down, we see the Aegir coming around at 4 kilometers, and we have the torpedoes ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the torpedoes, and the Aegir didn't spot us yet. We are very close, and you now can see what's happening. We are opening up fire, we're smoking up, hoping that there is no sonar yet, and we just needs a couple of distraction shots so he doesn't shoot at our battleships. He needs to turn his slow turning guns, and the torpedoes hit, and then you see the decap is being capped, so we have to rush to decap to get the kill there and stop them from getting the decap, while my battleship is overpassing me, heading into A cap. And yeah, so what we're gonna see here is both DDs actually entering the decap. So I realized soon that I have to fight both of them at once, and then you can see the potential of the Kitakaze, why I said it's an excellent gunboat. The black is doing its best. He's trying to avoid my shots. He's going tail in, nose in. But the big drawback is you lose 50% of your firepower by doing so. And this is the reason why I can kill them. So first of all, I'm starting to open fire on the Yogumo, and Yogumo is releasing torpedoes. And I think I even catch a torpedo from one of these. Not sure if this is a Yogumo. I keep moving. I don't watch at the torpedoes because I do a turn outside, away from the ships. So I expect the torpedoes to pass behind me. And now I have to be careful. I think there's one torpedo. Yeah, one catches me. I think this was a black torpedo. Because I'm still alive, so given from the damage, that was one slow-moving black. And now you can see the black first is doing good, and he should have kept moving. He should have played with the speed, which I do. I'm pulling the brakes and speeding up. So he's missing these shots. You can see he was expecting me to move on. And now he's turning in because he's afraid I get too many hits. And now he loses half of his gun power. This is the mistake why he loses the fight. You can see I'm still playing with the throttle, forward, backward, and I wait a couple of salvos in one direction. Most people, they go 3 seconds forward, 3 seconds backward. No, you have to go 10 seconds forward, 3 seconds backward, 5 seconds forward. So then the enemy will miss some salvos. If you do it too constantly, you don't make a big difference here. But you can see we killed them with 5k HP. We started the battle 6k it was, and again the mistake was he only used 2 of his front guns, and I had all my 8 barrels on him with I think Kitakaze is like 2 point something reload on those 3 seconds reload on 8 barrels. So the black didn't stand a chance, despite he started full health, almost, or I think 2/3 health. So he should have won the fight. If he was playing well, but he made a little mistake, and he did something good, what most players would do, nose in, but it didn't help him. So now, tactical decision. They have 3 caps, and you need to guess where this cruiser will be going to. And my bet is he's afraid of the chasing destroyer, so that's why he's running off and he's running around the corner. So this is his best guess to avoid incoming torpedoes from the chasing destroyer, and that's why I'm dropping torpedoes into that hole between that big rock to my left and the main island. And at the same time, I want to block the decap. So I don't know where, you see there's just 50 seconds left on the clock, and it's hard to guess if my torpedoes will ever reach. So I cannot wait for the cruiser to be spotted. I need to drop them point blank. I use the reload booster. I drop everything I have. 35 seconds left on the clock. There is the cruiser. We think he slows down. I have to use the smoke. I have to open fire. So I'm getting the shots out. I think it was a little early. I should have waited a little bit until I was in the reverse. He gets the kill. And then again, I think he decided to move forward. And guess what? He's going to cap my torpedoes. So that's going to be the win here. And that's going to be the Kraken. So this was a hard-earned victory, a hard-earned Kraken. Again, a lot of mistakes in situational awareness of parts of my team. But again, you have to read the map, you have to react. You remember I awaited the cruiser in the channel, I put the torps point blank, and so on. So you have to read the map where the enemy will be, and that will give you more wins than the average potato. So now we are in a Sumner, so I just want to show you how you play the various destroyers. It's not the the people saying, you can only play the stealth, Yogumo, nobody can spot you. Yeah, but then again, you have the cruiser, you have the radar, you have the planes, blah, blah, blah. So this is a bad excuse. And then the gunboats play a little different, so you have to make use of your guns. You cannot hide. You have to hunt the destroyers in a gunboat. So don't make the mistakes like many people and stay away on 15 kilometer just because your torpedoes have a 17 kilometer range. You have to close in. And here in this game, we are helping the enemy destroyer to get the A-cap. We are rushing in because there's nothing to be afraid of. We have our smoke. We have two big battleships there, and they will be staying outside. They will be staying at the back. So we need to chase them together with our destroyer mate here. We are not in a division, but obviously we have to hunt them. And if we should be running into an enemy destroyer, we have strong guns, so we are not afraid of anything. But still, this destroyer is using gearing in a setup. So you see we have only 18k HP, but we have a very good concealment here, 5.3. But gun reload is the slowest you can have in the Sumner. It's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds, something like that. Because this destroyer is skilled on a fast torpedo reload. And fast is in quotes here. We have a reload of around 90 seconds. But we have 2 times 5 torpedoes, and these torpedoes do, I think, around 19k damage each. So they're pretty good hitting. And with 90 seconds, this is quite fast reload for the American destroyers. And we're gonna make use of these. And still we have good reloading guns. We can put some fires out. So I like gearing because you get good torpedoes, you get the smokes, no, not the smokes, you get the concealment, and this really helps because you bring a gunboat into a concealment range of a Yogumo. Again, Yogumo is 4.8, and the other destroyers have a concealment of about 5.2, 5.4. So imagine you enter a gunfight with a gunboat, but the enemy cannot outspot you. So here we have situational awareness. You saw the marker of the gearing to our left popping up, rushing one of our battleships, and we quickly turn the guns, we open up fire, we get the kill on the gearing. And this is very important why you have to watch the mini-map, and that's why I put all these 3 games here, because all of these 3 games were won because we were watching the mini-map constantly, we were predicting enemy movements. So these games are a lot of experience. What differs these games from the average destroyer player? You have to guess what to do. So now we have to leave this, the smoke because nobody's spotting, despite 2 ships on the right should be spotting the enemy battleships, but they are behind an islet so they can't see them. So we go back, we open up fire. Unfortunately, nobody of them shoots, so they remain hidden, but we got a fire on the Yamato, and now we need to close in, get some torpedoes off to the Yamato. And again, guess what the Yamato is going to do. My guess is he's not going to reverse anymore, so that's why I'm not dropping torps. I'm expecting him to move forward behind that island, so that's why I keep closing in. And I'm dropping 1 set there because I think maybe he slows down and uses the island as cover, and he's going forward, backward like the battleships do. But if he's speeding up and coming around the island, I'm dropping another set behind that island into his movement path. So that's my consideration. Then again, he slows down, and I drop the set in the reversing path. So I was thinking, okay, maybe he's going back again. So then again, we have the forward position torping, and we have the backward. Unlucky for me, the torp, which should have hit the Yamato, was catched by the island. But still we get 1 flood on the Yamato, and I think the flood was triggered. No, there's no flooding. He already used the damage con. So that's why we're trying to get some fires here. We're moving out, and the Yamato is trying to focus our cruiser there. So that's why I'm not afraid. I'm turning in again. We keep shooting the Yamato. But unfortunately, we are unlucky with RNG here. We don't get any fires. And this is the reason why I sometimes like Dewey better for the American destroyers. Many people don't like the Dewey Captain, but Dewey gives you one amazing feature. It's the 2% additional fire chance. So you don't have 5% then, but you have 7% fire chance. And you get another 2.5 minutes smoke. So you get 7.5 minutes smokes with Dewey. And this is an amazing fire starter. Any American destroyer with Dewey, 7% fire chance, almost 8 minutes smokes. They are amazing. So that's why I love to play these boats with Dewey on top. But with Dewey, you need a spotter. So Dewey is excellent. If you start in a division, my recommendation is go for Dewey, have a spotter out there, smoke up, and then for 8 minutes or 7.5 minutes, get all your guns blazing and ignite everything you can. But again, solo player, I rely on gleaves here, and we're getting off the torpedoes. So you can see there's already another set of torpedoes to the curve first. We use one widespread because we don't know if he keeps slowing down or speeding up. We only want a flood here. We don't want to kill him with torps. And these torps are long range, so he can do many moves until they reach him. So it's just, let's say, a zone torping what I'm doing here while I close in. And as soon as the smokes get ready, we are opening up, or even a little bit before, because the guns point a different direction. We are outside his secondary range, so there's no risk in opening up fire. But remember, Kurfürst has a 6-kilometer sonar, and we have some good guessing here of the Kurfürst, some blind fire very well. He gets a hit here, he fires HE, which is funny, but okay, he gets the hit. And we keep shooting, but again, few fires, I think no fire at all. And he gets closer and closer, so that's why we have to move out in the end. But again, torpedoes coming back. And now he's in a good torpedo range, 8 kilometer, he's getting closer and closer. So, yeah, it's gonna be more dangerous here. And but he's very good, he's a good player, he's avoiding torps, he's turning. And in the end, he cannot avoid torpedoes of two destroyers torping him. Maybe I should have torped the second set more to the south, because he's now turning south, but I think he will be catching our other destroyers' torpedoes. And I have to move out now because I'm in 6-kilometer range now. I don't want to sonar him. So we watched the other end of the map, and in the sea cap, the Reds have taken over. There's almost nobody there, so we have to move there. We have to make sure that oh, we get the kill in the end. I didn't remember correctly. So we have to make sure we get the battleships on the way, and we have long-range torpedoes, so that enables us to torp them even though we stay outside here. And I think there is a Hayate left, so we do not necessarily need to engage a full HP Hayate at this stage. So we don't know where the Hayate is. That's why we're staying away from the fight. We're coming around the corner, we're waiting for the spots, and then we want to torp the battleships.
Gute Arbeit. Verbindlichsten Dank. So wird's gemacht. zerstört.
So let's summarize. We got 3 different destroyers. They all play differently, and I think it gave you a good impression of how to play high-end destroyers. If you want to learn more about destroyers, check out my playlist, How to Become a Top 1% Destroyer Player. Check out the playlist I have for every destroyer, tier 5 and up. If you want to know more about a specific destroyer, search for the playlist and you find plenty of games and tutorials about a single individual destroyer. Thank you for watching these games. Consider subscribing, hit the thumbs up if you like the game, and leave your comments. Thank you for all your feedback. Thank you for watching, and thank you that you allow me to sync some of you guys. So thank you out there, and bye bye. Push the like button. See you.